with double points for the top 6 places in this crucial final round 5 of the Grandstand Trophy. Any one of the point scorers so far could win the championship, and that's 12 people. And on the front row of the starting grid, second fastest there, Dave Coyne, who is actually the German Formula 2000 champion of 1986. He is driving the very latest 1987 Swift car. He's in second position on the grid, number 8, but in pole position is young Gary Ailes, 22 years old. He comes from Burwash, and he's driving one of the fashionable and tremendously successful Reynard cars with a Neil Brown engine. Third on the grid, and there's a familiar name, Paul Warwick, the 17-year-old brother of Grand Prix driver Derek Warwick on the left. And Paul has been brilliantly successful already this year in his first season of Formula Ford 1600cc racing, having won both the novice championships. Fourth on the grid, second equal in the championships, the surprise man of 1986 in this series, Alexander Arbis. He's just come up from Formula Ford 1600. He's taken to the larger formula like a duck to water, and he has to be one of the favourites for this race. And here's another man to watch, 17-year-old Jason Elliott, who's won both the major Formula Ford 1600cc championships of 1986. He's just moved up to Formula Ford 2000, and he won the 3rd round of the series. But there, down in 9th place on the grid, Jonathan Bancroft, who won both the first 2 rounds and is leading the championship just 2 points ahead of the 2 men who are equal in second place, Coyne and Arbis. Perfect racing conditions, and it's go for 20 laps. Gary Ailes leads Dave Coyne into paddock. From paddock, Coyne chasing in the red Swift, the white Reynard of Gary Ailes. And already there's a battle developing for 3rd place as they go into Druids Hill Bend on lap 1. Gary Ailes, that's the man to watch, the ex-agricultural engineer, and there's a big shunt at Druids.
So behind the leaders, we see after the usual diving, the late braking at Druids on the first lap, they bunch up, try to come out of Druids 3 abreast, 2 in the background, touch, thumping into the tyre walls there. That was about 5th or 6th place, could well be Paul Warwick.
But meantime, it is, as they go over the line, completing, it's Gary Ailes leading, Dave Coyne in second position, and up into 3rd place. Number 20 has come the young Canadian, Paul Tracy. He's only 17 years old. He drives in glasses. No missed-up conditions will worry him today. But Paul Tracy is going superbly well. 6th in the championship. And again, spinners coming out of Druids Hill Bend. Still Gales leads. Coyne is in second place. Tracy is 3rd. And Alexander Arbis in the white car, number 1, is up into 4th position. Round Clark curve, into clearways now, into the top straight, the fastest part of the circuit, and Gary Ailes, the man who has had a 3rd place, 2 poles and a fastest lap this year, and the race is being stopped. As you can see, the red flags are out after 2 laps, and that is because there are cars on the circuit which are in the way on the racing line, and the organisers as ever sensibly decided to get rid of them and restart the race. Number 23 there is Alan Kelly's Van Diemen, the man from Northern Ireland. Well, on the left of the picture, Paul Warwick's car, number 10, Derek Warwick's brother, very clearly out of the Grandstand Trophy. And on the right, another of the favoured men, Jason Elliott, whose car looks too badly damaged to start again. Now the restart for the shortened 15-lap Grandstand Trophy with 2 significant defections, because Paul Warwick is out, Jason Elliott is out, and that means to say that lap record holder John Alcorn, only 7th on the grid, number 2 there, has got 2 clear spaces in front of him and can sprint through by the time they get up to Paddock Bend. Pole position then Gary Ailes, alongside him Dave Coyne, 15 laps, and Alcorn's done it. And straight up 2 is Jonathan Bancroft. Number 7, Jonathan Bancroft, comes through and moves into second position on Paddock Bend. They stream round Paddock, up Aylward Hill, into Druids Hill Bend on lap 1. Coyne challenging Gary Ailes, who keeps ahead. And there's another shunt at Druids, more people off. Bancroft is in third position. Young Paul Tracy is in fourth position. The 17-year-old Canadian, number 20 in the Van Diemen, who is in sixth place in the championship. And through into the lead goes Dave Coyne. And the two off were Colin White has gone off, and so has Craig Simmis. And this is lap 2 with Dave Coyne second in the championship, the man who's won this year's German Formula 4 2000cc championship. He won the fourth round, and it looks to me, Tiffany Dell, as though he's got the race under control already.
Yes, Dave Coyne there in no mood to mess about. He saw the first opportunity at Clearways on the first lap to get by. Gary Ailes made a tremendous start as he did in the first heat, but Dave Coyne wanted to get through, but really the sensation off the grid was Jonathan Bancroft from the 5th row of the grid to the 3rd position he now holds.
Coming up to complete lap 2, Dave Coyne in the brand new red Swift leads. Gary Ailes is in second place. Bancroft is in third position. Paul Tracy, the Canadian, is in fourth place. And right behind him is Alexander Arbis, who is second in the championship. Now, I remind you that any one of 12 men, any one of 10 men now, with Warwick and Elliott out, can win the Grandstand Formula 4 2000 Trophy Championship of 1986. Well, there is Dave Coyne, 27 years old, a man who's shone in Formula 4 1600, Formula 4 2000. He's a top ex-kart driver. He's driven in Formula 3, and he really does deserve a chance in the bigger formula. Into Paddock on the 3rd lap out of 15, 1/5 distance. Coyne stretching his lead over Gary Ailes. Still in 3rd position is Jonathan Bancroft, the championship leader. So it's a very close thing in the championship at the moment, because when this race started, Bancroft, who is in 3rd position, was only 2 points ahead of Coyne, who was second in the championship. And there is Jonathan Bancroft from Godalming, the 1984 Star of Tomorrow winner and the BP Superfine winner of 1984. And Gary Ailes is the man to watch at the moment. Coyne and Ailes are coming up. Number 14 there is Nicholas Owen in the Reynard from Teddington. But now we're getting a situation where the leaders are coming up to lap tail-enders, and that can always change the complexion of a race.
Yes, there's a huge spread of experience in this Grandstand series. It's a big field, 24, 26 cars, and certainly there's going to be a lot of problems overtaking some of the backmasters, people who have spun off, and Gary Ailes now not letting Dave Coyne get away at the front. Dave Coyne really getting some consistent results now in this Swift chassis against all the Reynard opposition, and Coyne now leading in the Swift, but Gary Ailes, who's been such a promising newcomer, is not letting the experienced Coyne get away.
Over the line to complete 5 laps, 1/3 distance. Ailes is challenging a Paddock, and he'll have a job to get through there with a man of Dave Coyne's experience against him. And this is very much a race of the constructors as well as the drivers, because Coyne is driving one of Frank Bradley's Swifts. This was a car that was designed and was originally built in America. Frank Bradley took over the rights. They're built now in Britain, and they're showing the way to the Reynards, which are the all-conquering cars of 1986. So Coyne goes up into Clark Curve, into Clearways on lap 6. The only challenger he's got at the moment is Gary Ailes. Ailes is 8th equal in the championship. Coyne is second in the championship, and it's a very close battle in the championship between Coyne leading there and the 3rd car that you'll see. There he is in the background, Jonathan Bancroft. 7. Dave Coyne leads. Gary Ailes is in second place. There is Bancroft in third position. In fourth place, the Canadian Paul Tracy. In fifth place, John Alcorn. And in sixth position, Alexander Arvitz. And that's the man to watch. Jonathan Bancroft is the man to watch, number 7, because if he can get up to and past, first of all, Gary Ailes, and then challenge, and Gary Ailes is now right up with Dave Coyne. Again, he won't get past on the outside. Dave Coyne has got the driving racing line, but Jonathan Bancroft is closing up on both of them.
Yes, certainly the more these two scrap, Jonathan Bancroft's got more and more chance. Really, with the championship, I think all these drivers have in their brain it's winner takes all. I don't think anyone's got time to compute the points when they're racing. And certainly it's important these two guys too much, giving Bancroft the chance. But really, I'm most impressed with young Gary Ailes. There, another spinner at Clearways in the background, and these are the spinners that Dave Coyne has now got the problem of having to overtake while still defending his lead.
And just look at number 7, third in the race, 23-year-old Jonathan Bancroft. And Coyne was being held up there by number 41, Steve Sutton, in the Tiger Ford. There is the danger man, number 7, Bancroft. 9th in the British Championship this year, 2 wins in the Grandstand Series and a pole position. And Jonathan Bancroft needs to get ahead of the white Reynard of Gary Ailes, and then onto the tail of the red Swift of number 8, Dave Coyne. The points in the Grandstand Trophy are the same as the World Championship, 9, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 for first to 6th positions, but they're doubled in this, the final round. Lap 9 completed, into the 10th and 2/3 distance lap, and again Ailes tries to get up a line. He's right up onto the curbing. Coyne moves across to take his line. Is that fair, Tiff?
Yes, that's the standard trick out of paddock, to try and shut the door as soon as possible for Druids. But we see now Bancroft is right on their tails. They lost half their lead with one back marker up at Clearways on this lap. But now Gary Ailes, the most inexperienced of these, doing tremendously well, has got the problem of looking in his mirrors and seeing Jonathan Bancroft eager to overtake.
The man in the red Swift is third in the championship. He's leading the race. The man in the white Reynard behind him, who is Gary Ailes, is only 8th in the championship, and it's very much a championship battle now between Coyne in the red Swift and number 7, Jonathan Bancroft, in the pink and blue and white Reynard. And they move over to get through Colin White, number 22. This is lap 11. There are only 5 laps to go, including the one they're on, in this most prestigious of all Formula 4 2000 races at the end of the 1986 season. And it looks to me as though Coyne is very much in charge. The 1978 European champion in kart racing, 1984 RAC and Townsend Torrenson Formula 4 champion. He moved up in 1985, 3 wins, and off goes John Alcorn. That was one of the men I was fancying, and he's blown his chances now. That's the lap record holder, and look at Gary Ailes in second position with Bancroft right behind him. Leading the race, still Dave Coyne. This is lap 12. Druids Hill Bend.
Well, that manoeuvre there by Gary Ailes really has given Dave Coyne the break he was looking for. Gary tried a very brave round the outside at paddock manoeuvre. It didn't come off, and we can see the effect it's had. Another spinner, another back marker up at Clearways, but the leaders in the background not going to be hindered. And Coyne now has a bit of a breathing space, but Ailes looks to me to be the quickest man on the track. And he's very soon now, you see, pulling away from Bancroft and getting back up onto Coyne's gearbox for these last few laps.
They go into lap 12. Dave Coyne is on 34 points at the moment if he wins, whereas Jonathan Bancroft, the current championship leader, is on 26 points if he finishes third. And really, Bancroft has got to win this race to beat Dave Coyne in the championship, and he's not showing much sign of doing that at the moment, because number 3, 22-year-old Gary Ailes, the ex-agricultural engineer, is keeping Bancroft back and giving Coyne the opportunity marginally to increase his lead as he comes through to complete lap 13 and start the last lap but one. goes Colin White in the Reynard. He's having a pretty exciting race. That's not the first time he's been into the scenery. Coyne now is on lap 14. These cars, about 130 horsepower, 115 miles an hour, 4-speed gearboxes, and again Bancroft is trying to get through and take Gary Ailes. He must know the situation. He'll be working things out in his head as well as driving. So, as they come through Clark Curve, Clearways, into the Brabham Straight for the last time to start the last lap, the championship is between Coyne in the lead and Bancroft in third position.
Well, now I think Dave Coyne probably has got this race. He had a lot of luck in the past, but I think as long as he gets through Paddock Corner, this first corner at Brands, he should be able to lead this pack home and finally win this Grandstand Trophy, which he came so close to doing last year. But I was looking at the inside. I can't see anyone stopping the Swift, the Tredair Swift of Dave Coyne.
Neither can I, because Dave is very much in control. He's got a good 3 cars lengths away now. He's making a banzai effort in the last lap to do what he failed to do last year when he had to pull out of the Grandstand Trophy. And Dave Coyne is out of Clark Curve for the 15th and last time, into and out of Clearways. There's no way I can see that he's going to fail to become the champion. He crosses the line. Dave Coyne is the Grandstand Formula Ford 2000 Trophy champion, and very well deserved, of 1986, with, if my mathematics are right, Jonathan Bancroft third in the race, second in the championship. But a worthy second in the race was Gary Ailes, with in fourth place 17-year-old Canadian Paul Tracy, fifth Alexander Arbis, and in sixth place Eddie Irvine. So the magnificent Grandstand Trophy deservedly goes to Dave Coyne in his Swift, who just failed to win it last year. Second, Jonathan Bancroft in the championship. Third, Alexander Arbis. Fourth, Gary Ailes. And a fine fifth position for Canadian Paul Tracy.